Hi, ladies. Welcome to today's live broadcast. What women want in a man. This is going to be a great topic to talk about because I'm always giving you all this advice on, I'm just adjusting my camera here on how to date, how to communicate, all those other topics that I've been covering. But I really want to talk about what women want and need from a man. And so I think this is a great topic, and I want to just welcome the ladies coming in on YouTube. And it's not working. You said, well, I can see a couple people. So refresh your browser. And hi, Lynn. Hi, Leslie. Thanks for being here. Okay. So what do women want in a man? Well, first of all, that it's something that I think that women have to get really clear on really just checking in with your value and really owning your value and what you really deserve and want in a relationship. Because I think that women overall have lowered their standards. And so if this is speaking directly to you, I'm not trying to be harsh. I just want to be really direct in this video because I think it's going to help you. And so what I mean by that, women have lowered their standards is it, I hear women say that chivalry is dead. Chivalry is not dead. It's just that we are not expecting men to do the things that we want. And then we say chivalry is not dead. We lean over and open the car door for him, or we get in the car and we don't wait for him to open the door because he's not going to. So we're like, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to get that. Some women will even open the door and walk to it first. Maybe you'll go up to the hostess desk and you'll say like, party of two. And it's like you're just taking the lead and you're stepping in where a man could possibly be chivalrous. So I really recommend that if you want a man to treat you like a lady, that you for example, when I was first dating Michael, I would go out when he was picking me up, I would come out and I would just stand by the car door because Michael's a gentleman, so he opened that car door. But anytime I want him to open the door, I would just stand by the car door and he would see it and come over and open it. Fortunately, Michael is really good about that, but I dated before I met Michael. And some men, I would just stand there. I would stand there and be awkward, but you know what? I don't care. I'm training him from the moment that I meet him, how I want to be treated. And yeah, I said the word training. So, if the men are watching and they are offended by that, too bad. Because here's what I have to say about that. You have to teach, train, convey by your own behavior what you want so that it's really clear. And if a man wants to do that for you, he will. And if he doesn't want to, he won't. So he has a choice in that moment. So it's not like we're forcing men to do these things, but if you want a man to open your car door, then you stand by the door and wait for him to do it for you. And if he doesn't, then that tells you a lot about what he's willing to do and willing not to do for you. So guess what? You just got a lot of information about him. So it's not good, bad, wrong, or right. It just gives you information so you can make a good decision for yourself. And so don't accept behavior that you don't want, because what happens is we get to decide what kind of treatment we want by how we want to live our life. So it's up to you to set that standard. And I think that what happens is that we can sometimes get a little desperate. And in that desperation, we start to lower our standard as soon as we like somebody. Because all of a sudden, what happens is we really want a man to approve of us. But at the minute that we give up our power and want a man to approve of us, he just starts to see us as desperate. Because first we're saying we want this, and then we lower our standard. And then they get confused. They're like, well, wait a minute, you wanted this, but now you don't want that. Like at first you open the door and then you're like, it's okay, I'll just get it and get in the car. Do you see what I mean? Do you see how we can send mixed messages on our own? So it's so important that you really hold your standards up, because you can get what you want, but you have to send a clear message about that and not vacillate back and forth, because it just causes confusion. And so, if you think about it, if you sign up for a policy for anything, right? The policy usually takes like 30 days to kick in. You don't get any benefits right away, and not typically, and I'm just using this as a general example. So you might get 30 to 60 days until your benefits start to kick in. And some insurance policies are like that. And so like health insurance and stuff like that. So why would it be any different for a man? He doesn't get all the benefits unless he's proven himself based on your behavior and your you're communicating to him the standard at which you like to be treated, and then he's stepping up because he wants to, not being forced. And then there's that trial period to see how you guys are going to do life. So I don't want you to lower your standard during that period. So remember, it's normal to have a trial period to make sure we're all on the same page and make sure that you're getting treated the way you want to be treated. So do not lower your standard during that trial period. It's so important. And what else do I want to say about this topic? I think Steve Harvey said it best. He said that the term gold digger was created, and I've done a whole thing on gold digging and how I want you women to go for the gold. But he was saying that men coined that so that we don't ask for more. And nagging is all about creating the term nagging so that we stop asking for more. But I really believe that when you're clear with your man about what you want and need, they will step up to it, especially if they're into you. I mean, I'll give you an example of what's happening. We had a new roof put in our building, and the roofers hit our water line above our roof and put a little dimple in it, and it rusted over a year and created a leak that ran across our laundry room and our bedroom, right? And so one day I came home and I'm like, oh, I think there's a water leak. The next day, the whole drywall just fell forward and all of our electronics are in there. We have this big station of electronics, and the whole wall, literally the drywall, like fell into it and just collapsed. And so, of course, we had to get everybody out there, and all these people are working on the wall, and they're drying it out, testing for mold. So a week goes by and they're like, okay, it's all set. We're going to patch the wall up, and we've got the plumbing fixed, etc. And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like smelling like I don't like the way that the house still smells. I think there's still more mold. And so Michael's like, really? Because it's been like 4 weeks. We're under construction. It's really a pain in the butt. And but I'm like, no, I want the whole house rechecked for mold. Really, really important to me. And he's like, oh, okay. Because he's been so good about staying home from work, being there in the morning, helping facilitate all these appointments. So, but I insisted. I'm like, it's really important for our health that we check for mold. So he goes, okay. So he gets the guy to come back out. The mold guy, he'd already done his test. So long story short, he shows up today, and guess what? In the spare bedroom, because I'm like, I smell something in here. He went into the closet. The roof has leaked in there, and there's a whole bunch of mold. They're going to have to tear out this whole wall. And so it's because I had that standard. I'm like, wait, let's just be sure. And even though it would have been more convenient to seal up that wall and less effort on everybody's part, I insisted. And that was holding my standard up high because I know it's just really important for our health to, and so Michael did that. He called the guy back, and it's a good thing he did, even though it's probably going to be several more weeks before, or even maybe another month into Thanksgiving before we get that wall fixed. But I had my standard. Our health is really important, and that's a principle that I think we can all agree on, right? So I hope that helps you in terms of just little things like that in a relationship where you still want to have that standard. And it's not that Michael doesn't have it, but I was there. I noticed it, and instead of not saying anything, I spoke up, and I made sure that was addressed. And I'm so glad I did, because we could get really sick from the mold. And what else do I want to talk to you about this? Yeah, just going back to that, okay, here it is. Setting the pace. Ladies, remember, you get to set the pace. We are in control of the pace, not the man. If you're feeling any pressure from a man to hop in the sack or to do anything, and you're not comfortable and you're not ready, you get to decide. And that is just going to garner more respect from him. And he's going to go at your pace. If he's into you, he will follow the rule that you lay out. If you need 30 days, he's going to give you 30 days if he's into you. If you need more time, he'll give that to you if he's into you. And the ones that aren't, then bless their heart. Then then you have your information, and he can move on and find somebody that is on a different timeline. Again, no judgment. It's just like you're the one who sets the pace. So please set that pace according to how you feel. Because when you feel good, you can open to a man and you can offer him so much love, so much nurturing, so much support, so much juiciness when you're ready. But when you're not ready and you go too fast, then you suffer. And then he suffers because you can't really open up and give him everything that you got. So it's really going to serve both of you for you to go at your pace and let him know what that pace is by communicating with him. And Yeah, set those requirements right up front. I mean, it's really important for a man to know what the expectations are. And of course, ladies, of course, we're always using our feather. I'm not saying demand. I'm not saying demand things from men, letting him know this is what I'd like to have to see happen. And you have to really know and be clear inside before you can do that. So spend some time getting clear so that when you are clear about your requirements, then you know what your deal breakers are. And then you won't be disappointed in your man because you've been really clear with him, and then he can either step up or fall away. The faster a man falls away, the better it is for you, because you don't want to waste your precious time. And hey, we don't want to waste his time either, right? And so here's what men are going to think. This is my take on it, is when a man meets you and he's into you, he's thinking, how much is she going to cost? Now, don't take this the wrong way, but he's calculating whether he can give you the life that you expect and want to have. And so just know that. And there is nothing wrong with you wanting it all. Okay, whatever it all is for you, what your all is, or whatever it is that you want, is different for me. It's going to be different for everybody. So don't compare yourself to anybody else. Just in your heart of hearts, be clear on what that is that you need to be happy, what would make you happy, the life you want to live with the man, and then convey that to him. And convey it to him in the way you dress, in the way you speak, in the way you conduct yourself. Then you will be more likely to get what you want, because you're a match. Remember, law of attraction, you likes attract like. So if you're not conducting yourself as a high quality woman, if you're not showing up confident and sure with certainty and clarity, then he senses that waffleness that comes across as desperation, and he wants the best woman also. Just like we want quality men want quality women, quality woman. So it's going to be up to you to project that quality that you're looking for in a man. And so set those requirements right up front. And so let's see. Let me just take a couple questions. Then I have a few things to share with you. And the last thing I'm going to say on how to get your needs met and get your wants met with a man is that we have to just make the distinction between our emotional needs that we want men to meet and the emotional needs that are our responsibility to meet. There is a distinction, and it's really important that you learn that, because sometimes we expect men to provide all of this acceptance, love, all of these emotional aspects that is really not their job to provide, in terms of our inner feelings of safety, our inner feelings of worthiness, our inner ability to self-nurture and to take care of our neediness when we're feeling needy. It's normal, totally normal to feel needy, to feel insecure from time to time. We're humans. Things happen. Fear of rejection, all kinds of things come up, but it's not their job to soothe that. That's you. You have to learn to self-nurture, because when you self-nurture, then you can show up as a confident and a balanced woman, a wise woman. And that's what a man's looking for. And yes, then he has so much love to give you when he doesn't feel like he has to take care of all of that and then all these other things, because like I said, he can't hold you as the object of his attention indefinitely. It's just impossible for anybody to do that. And a healthy relationship is like the infinity symbol. It's two holes side by side making the infinity symbol, not two halves coming together making one. That's a codependent relationship. That is not functional. This is a healthy relationship, healthy relationship, physical relationship. You're touching and you're coming out, you're coming in, you're not overlapping. This is codependency, because guess what? Look what happens when you try to break apart. See, you can't kind of get stuck on each other. One person expects so much, the other person is so trapped in that. And it's just a really unhealthy situation. So, and this is what I teach in my Engaged in the Age program. And yes, you have just a short amount of time to book a discovery call with me, where I teach you the capacity to be able to meet all your emotional needs from within, so you can power up, get clear on what your expectations are for men, and then show up like a high value woman so that you can have exactly what you want. Isn't that what we're here for? And believe me, men Men want to know what you want. I do believe men really want to make us happy, but we need to make sure that we have those skills in order to make that a reality. So check the link in the box below where you can hop on a discovery call with me and talk about the program and if it's a fit for you. Okay, ladies, I am so excited about the women that are already signed up in the program. We're starting November 19th. It's coming up right around the corner. One of the women in the group already got into exclusive relationship in just a few short weeks. So it's super exciting. It's really empowering and to watch these women go through this transition of becoming the best version of themselves and start attracting high quality men and just having these great relationships. So beautiful to watch, and why I get so passionate about making these videos for you, because I want it for all of you, and you certainly all deserve it. Let's take some questions now. Let's see. Dated for 14 months and he's still addicted to his phone. He filmed over half of a concert to put on Facebook. He's still on the phone, texting and driving. So, how do you feel about that? I mean, for 14 months that's gone on. And so that's the kind of thing that right up front in the very beginning of a relationship, you want to address those kinds of things, because it's not impossible to address it now. It's just that he probably thinks you're okay with it, since I'm not sure what you've done, but I would definitely have a conversation with him, and maybe conversation with him needs to happen in the moment. I'm big on setting appointments, but I would just, in this case, I would just say something like, "Sweetheart, hello, I'm right over here, and you're spending all this time filming and talking, and I would really love it if we would just focus on our time together, and you can spend all that time on your phone when we're apart, because I just want to be with you and connect with you." And just smile when you say it, look at him and see how he responds to that. You might have to say it a couple of times. You might have to signal him to get his attention, because he's definitely not present to the relationship. So try that out. See as it goes. Be persistent. Be patient. Give him the opportunity to make some shifts and see if he wants to. He's certainly not going to do it because you're demanding, because it's late in the game. But it's not impossible. It's just you have to show up with some patience and be tenacious. You can turn this thing around. Thanks. Great question. And let's see. I'm going to just back over here and let's see. I'm just sorry that I have to take time to read the question, so that's why I'm pausing. I apologize for those of you who are like on pins and needles here. I've set a timeline on setting myself in his home by Thanksgiving. I don't think I'm going to mention again because don't want to nag. I will move out if he doesn't start. What do you think? First of all, you're not a nag. That's the whole thing about men programming us to not ask for what we want. And so they say we're sounding like nags. I completely disagree with that. It might be when you're saying it, it might sound like, the timing could be off of your conversation, but so that's setting an ultimatum. The only thing with setting ultimatums, and I'm okay with ultimatums, but you better be able to back him up, because he'll never believe you again. Trust is gained in inches and lost in miles. And so if you're going to give him an ultimatum, which is what that is, then you need to be ready to do it. And that could just be like, "Sweetheart, it breaks my heart that I'm going to be moving out, but I was really had my heart set on us moving forward. And I see that you're not ready, but I am. And so I'm going to be taking the steps to go ahead and move out. And, we can maybe revisit the conversation after I'm resettled and see what we want to do. But that's what's going to happen next week. So you're just going to have to tell him, and then you cannot change your mind, because he'll never believe you. You have to actually follow through with it. And only then will he have the opportunity to really contemplate whether or not he wants to do something about that, because he may have heard this before and you haven't done anything. And that's kind of the trap that we can all fall into, is saying, threatening like crying wolf so many times, where our power loses conviction. Okay. So when we show up with conviction, with certainty, we gain power. And without that power, men don't take us seriously. So say it once, say it twice, then that's it. Then you move on. And then he knows that he needs to respect what you say or you will take action. And that's why I'm talking to you about this today, about setting up your requirements, standing by the door if you want your door open, leaning back when the check comes if you want him to pay for it, whatever it is for you, based on what you want out of the relationship, whatever your expectations are. So my guy has a Facebook problem. It's annoying. It's his problem. Why is that annoying to you? I mean, why can try to control him if he doesn't like me on Facebook or he likes Facebook, whatever it is, that's his thing. I mean, we have to let our men live their lives. The thing about commitment is some men fear commitment because they think they're going to lose their freedom. But I think relationships give you more freedom. But if we cling and try to control and try to tell them how to do their downtime, how to do their time with their friend, there's no freedom in that. And so, let him, if he likes to surf the social media, you have to ask yourself, what are you afraid of? What's happening inside of you that's making you feel unsettled about that? And so I'm just looking to see what other questions maybe that are coming up on Facebook. Good call on the mold. Thank you. Hi, Leslie. Okay, so another question here, and then I'm going to share my goodies with you. And please don't forget to comment here in the YouTube and Facebook, because after the live calls, I go in and I answer your question. And also, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you receive notifications when I go live. And on Facebook, it works if you like my Facebook page. So thank you so much for your continued support, for showing up for the calls. It means a lot to me. I actually prefer to do the live calls because I can connect with you than the pre-recorded calls. But I'd love to take a poll on what you would rather see, maybe a mix of both. So I'll drop that in my community poll and let you vote on that. So Jackie, I had a date today at 5 p.m. This guy texted me and stated that he had a job that wouldn't finish until 7. He gave me a 30-minute notice. That is a deal breaker for me, right? Well, it depends on how many times he's done that. So, if he's just done it once, then you could be compassionate and give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm a big believer in giving the benefit of the doubt once. And so you could say, oh gosh, darn, I'm so disappointed. I was really looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully we can reschedule. Good luck with your meeting. And that's it. Do not lash out. Do not attack, because he might come back and go, wow, feel really bad. I really want to take you out. And if he doesn't, then you know that it was not the truth anyway. So either way, you win. You held yourself with grace and dignity, and he's going to show you who he is in a very quick time. And I know it's super disappointing, but process and release that disappointment. Though it doesn't have to be a deal breaker. It can be a hall pass one time. Now, if he's done this before, I wouldn't respond to his text. How I would handle it is I would be like, okay, good to know. Put that down. Go to a movie. Turn on my favorite show. Take a tub. Move the energy of my disappointment. Get back in balance. And then from that place, I'll decide what to do or not to do. But since he's in a meeting, there's no bother responding to him right now, because he's not going to even get it. So I wouldn't even bother responding to him. I would just wait until you slow your roll, cool your jet, so that you can come from an empowered place, and then you'll know what to do or not to do. And so I hope that helps. And what is the best way to tell a man some of your boundaries, such as not calling each other foul sorts during a disagreement? Well, I always say lead the charge first. You go first. Stop using the language that you don't want to be used on you. And after a while, it'll be apparent that he's the only one doing it. That's what I would recommend. So I'm not judging you at all. I'm just saying, if you want something to be different, then we have to be the ones to change. We have to be the change. Gandhi said that, right? Be the change you wish to see. So be the change. and then give it some time, and see if he'll line up with you. I typically find that people line up with good. They do want to be better people. I like giving people the benefit of the doubt. So I hope that helps. Here's my little tips for the week. Okay, these are kind of silly, but I wanted to share them. So, I have a contacts in for reading, but I went and got some new reading glasses from Warby Parker, and I love these frames. I think these pink frames are just so cool. And I think they're really cute. I think they're kind of sexy. And I have a pair of tortoiseshell that actually Michael likes better. So he likes a tortoiseshell. I like these. So I got two pairs, and they're pretty affordable. So that's my new find. And I don't know how much longer the rose is going to be in stock. I think it's always in style. I've always loved rose. And so I definitely needed a pair of these, and I will keep these for a while, and maybe even redo the lenses if I have to. But I love the frames, and I love that rose. I think it's just really soft and feminine. Okay, here's another one of my favorite products. I love Southern Belle, the dry bar mousse. I love that. See that, ladies? I know it might be hard to see it bright lights, but this is it's called Southern Belle Volume Boosting Mousse. So why I love this is because I have fine hair and it's really thin. And so I want it to be full and look full still, right? Can't help it. I'm not going quietly. So I recommend mousse. Will give you that volume and that poof, and you can even use it dry. You can, like, before you go out, put a little scoop in it, use your blow dryer to heat it up, and you'll just get a nice little poof going. And so I definitely recommend it, and it comes in a trial size, a small little travel size. So grab that, girls. If you got fine hair and you want a little boost, get this dry bar mousse. Okay, last thing I'm going to share. The NYX Wicked Lashes. Love them. So I love these lashes. I'm wearing them now. I stopped wearing the eyelash extensions because I was so tired of not being able to sleep on my side of my head. But these lashes are incredibly easy to put in. And so this is number WL08. And they look so natural, super easy to put on, super easy to take off. And they're like $8 a pack. Isn't that cool? So I really recommend that for those of you who like to have, your eyelashes are like eyelashes are like the new boobs. I've heard people say that's kind of cute and funny, but I like the eyelashes. So I'm using those. I hope that, use them for your holiday parties. Like I said, you can see my eyes. They look really natural. They're not overly done, and they come right off and they go on easily. So that's all I have to share with you. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget that I am enrolling into my program only for I'm closing enrollment next week because we're getting organized and things have to be put in place. So this is your last chance this year to work with me in my Engaged Student EH program. So make sure that you jump on a discovery call with me so we can talk about if that's a fit for you. And by the way, turquoise never goes out of style, ladies. I made these earrings like 20 years ago, and I got this ring last year, but I do like turquoise. And so if you got some turquoise with black and falls here, go get in there and recycle that because it's always a great look on black. So I hope this was helpful, ladies. Just know I'm always sending you so much love. Have a great weekend. Have a great night. And you guys all take care. Bye. Bye.